those viral baby development videos you see everywhere? They might just be one of the biggest misconceptions in modern parenting. I'm Sarah. I'm not a doctor. I'm a mom on a mission to read all the parenting books and studies so you don't have to. When I saw these videos taking over my feed, I became deeply curious. So I decided to dive into the actual scientific research behind them. What I found was genuinely shocking, and it's something I feel a duty to share with you. In this video, we're going to uncover the truth about what these videos are really doing to your baby's developing brain, and I promise you, it is not what their flashy marketing wants you to believe. But before we pull back that curtain, I think it's really important to be honest with each other. I mean, I get it. You see these videos and they look incredible. They have the crisp, high-contrast visuals, the soothing classical music, and they come with these big, bold promises, don't they? To boost your baby's brain power, improve their vision, and kickstart their development. And let's just call it what it is. Parenting a newborn is exhausting. Sometimes you just need 15 minutes where you're not being touched. 15 minutes to make a coffee you can actually drink while it's hot, or just to take a shower in peace. These videos feel like the perfect solution, a little entertaining babysitter that's supposedly good for them. It feels like a total win-win. So I want to be really clear. The question we're exploring today is not, are you a bad parent for needing a break and using one of these? Absolutely not. The real question is, do these videos actually deliver on their educational promises? Or is there a hidden cost to that peace and quiet? To answer that question, we first need to understand something truly incredible: how your baby's brain is actually built from the ground up. In the first 3 years of life, your child's brain is undergoing an explosion of growth unlike any other time. It will literally triple in size, reaching about 80% of its adult volume by their 3rd birthday. Think about that for a second. 80% of their adult brain built in just 36 months. It's mind-boggling. But this growth isn't magic. It's built connection by connection, neuron by neuron. And the building materials are experiences. Not just any experiences, but real, physical, multi-sensory ones. It happens when they wrap their tiny hand around your finger and feel your warmth. It happens when they hear the unique rhythm of your voice as you read them a book. It happens when they see your face light up in a smile and they learn what joy looks like. These moments, touching, tasting, seeing, hearing, and being held, these are the literal bricks that build a healthy, resilient brain. Think of it this way. Real-world play is like giving your baby a set of wooden blocks. They can touch them, stack them, knock them over, even put them in their mouth. They're the architect, learning about weight, gravity, texture, and cause and effect firsthand. Now, watching a sensory video, that's like making them watch a sped-up video of a skyscraper being built set to loud music. It's a flashing, stimulating rush of images for sure, but they haven't laid a single brick. They haven't learned a single principle of construction. And here is the crucial piece of the puzzle that the marketers of these videos don't mention. Science has a name for it: the transfer deficit. It's a well-researched concept which finds that babies and toddlers, generally under 18 to 24 months, are simply not cognitively equipped to transfer what they see on a 2D screen into their 3D world. Their brains can't yet make the connection that the flat, glowing picture of an apple on the screen represents the same thing as the round, crisp apple they can hold in their hand. To them, those are two completely different, unrelated objects. So while their eyes might be glued to the screen and they might seem captivated, they aren't learning in any meaningful way. It's simply what one researcher called a massive amount of sensory stimulation that provides no real developmental or educational benefit. And here's the quiet danger. It takes the place of the very activities their brains are screaming out for. It displaces the block stacking, the finger holding, and the face-to-face smiles that are the real work of childhood. Okay, before we get into the heavy data on what happens when that displacement occurs, let's build a resource for each other. I'm always looking for new ideas myself. What's one simple, non-screen activity your baby absolutely loves? Drop your ideas in the comments below. Let's create a little library of joy for parents who need a fresh idea. Because when those essential brain-building activities are consistently pushed aside for screen time, well, that's where the research starts to paint a very clear and very concerning picture. And that picture is one of a direct collision, a collision between a promise and a reality. On one side, you have the seductive promise of these sensory videos, the idea that you can hand your baby a screen and their brain will just absorb development. It's an appealing thought for any parent needing a moment of peace. But on the other side, you have the unchangeable biological truth that brains aren't built by passive viewing, they are built brick by brick through physical interaction, through eye contact, through the messy, beautiful reality of play. So when that promise meets that reality, what happens? This is the part that, as a mom, is genuinely tough to share. The research isn't just neutral. It doesn't say it doesn't help. It says it can actively hurt. The studies point to a pattern of negative impacts across 3 crucial areas of development. We're going to walk through the science on each one, step by step. First, how it affects your child's ability to talk. Second, how it impairs their physical motor skills. And third, something that can follow them for years to come, their ability to simply pay attention. So let's start with language. This is often the first and most obvious area where we see the impact. Your baby's brain is wired for human interaction. It learns language through a beautiful back and forth dance called serve and return. Your baby babbles, you respond. You talk, they watch your mouth, they coo back. It's a live, responsive loop. Now, a group of researchers led by Dr. Frederick Zimmerman at the University of Washington wanted to see what happens when you substitute that human interaction with baby videos. They measured how many hours of these videos infants were watching, and then they measured the size of their vocabulary. The results were staggering. For every single hour of baby videos an infant watched per day, they understood, on average, 6 to 8 fewer words than infants who watched none. Let me say that again. It's not neutral. They learned fewer words. The videos had a negative effect. And the reason why is something scientists call the displacement hypothesis. It's a simple idea. Time spent watching a screen is time you can't get back. It's time that is displaced from activities that actually build the brain. Every minute they spend staring at a screen is a minute they are not practicing that serve and return dance with you. It's a minute they are not hearing your voice, responding to your tone, and connecting words to the real world. Even having the TV on in the background has an effect. Studies show that when a television is on, the number of words a parent speaks directly to their child drops from an average of 940 words per hour down to just 770. The screen just sucks the conversation out of the room. And it gets more concerning with modern devices. A recent study from the Hospital for Sick Children in Toronto focused on handheld screens, phones, and tablets. They found that for every 30-minute increase in daily handheld screen time, a child had a 2.3 times increased risk of expressive language delay. Again, it's about displacement. That time spent swiping or watching a tiny screen is time not spent babbling, pointing, and learning to form their first precious words with you. The second major area of impact is on motor skills. This one seems obvious, but the research reveals it's more subtle than you think. Babies and toddlers learn about the world by moving through it and touching it. They develop their gross motor skills by crawling, walking, and climbing. They develop their fine motor skills by picking up a pea, stacking a block, or turning the page of a board book. Their bodies and brains are learning together. A screen demands stillness and passivity. But here's the key. It's not just that the child isn't moving when they're watching. The research shows that even when a screen is on in the background, it constantly distracts them. It pulls their attention away from their toys. The length of time they engage in focused play with a single object plummets. Less focused play means less practice. Fewer blocks stacked, fewer shapes sorted, fewer muscles in their hands and bodies getting the critical workout they need to build coordination and strength. But it's this third and final point, the impact on a child's future ability to pay attention, that is the one that truly blew my mind when I first read it. Dr. Dimitri Christakis, a brilliant pediatrician and researcher, conducted a landmark study. His team looked at the television viewing habits of children under the age of 3. Then, they followed up with those same children when they reached age 7 and assessed them for attention problems. The link they found was direct, linear, and undeniable. Are you ready for this? For every single hour of television a child watched per day before age 3, their chance of having attention problems at age 7 increased by nearly 10%. Think about what that means. A child who watches 2 hours of TV a day is 20% more likely to struggle with focus in school than a child who watched none. A child watching 3 hours a day is 30% more likely. This isn't a vague possibility, it's a measurable neurological impact. The why here is again about displacement, but it's displacing something more abstract, the practice of focus itself. A young brain learns to pay attention by paying attention to a book, to a toy, to your face. It's a slow, internal, self-directed process. Sensory videos are the exact opposite. They are a fire hose of fast-paced, externally driven stimulation. The scenes change every few seconds. The colors flash, the sounds pop. It trains the brain to expect and crave constant, rapid, novel stimulation. It does not train the brain for the quiet, deep focus required to learn in a classroom or read a book. We are, quite literally, conditioning their brains for distraction. Okay, let's all just take a breath. I know that was a lot of heavy information, and hearing it can make that little voice of guilt or anxiety start whispering in your ear. So let me be crystal clear. This is not about shaming any parent. The goal here is absolutely not to judge choices you've already made. We have all been in that moment of desperation, just needing 5 minutes of quiet to reset. I see you, and I've been you. This information isn't a weapon for you to beat yourself up with. It's a flashlight. It's about empowering you with the most current science so you can make different choices going forward. It's about understanding that you have the power to trade the empty promise of a screen for the proven brain-building power of your own presence. And that is a powerful choice to have. So, if we lay all the evidence out on the table, that choice becomes incredibly clear. Based on all the available research, the conclusion is unavoidable. These so-called sensory videos offer 0 proven developmental benefits for your baby. Worse, the science strongly suggests that any screen time under the age of 2 is far more likely to have a negative effect than a positive one. And I want to be clear, I'm not the only one saying this. This is precisely why the American Academy of Pediatrics, the leading authority on child health, officially discourages all screen media for children younger than 18 months. The only exception they make? Live video chatting with family. Okay, so that's the what not to do. The much more important question is, what should you be doing instead? If you want to know the simple, scientifically proven, and frankly, completely free activities you can do to genuinely accelerate your baby's development and build that deep, secure bond, well, I've broken down the 4 most powerful ones for you in this video right here. Before you go, if you found this deep dive valuable and want to help protect other parents from this marketing hype, please take 1 second to hit that like button. It really does help because it tells the YouTube algorithm that this is important information more families need to see. And of course, subscribe so you don't miss any of our future guides where we break down the science of parenting for you. Videos like this that challenge popular products can sometimes be targeted for removal, so make sure you also hit that notification bell so you don't lose access to this community. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.